but for me, it begins with that meal between the forest and the lake. Orphan. I grew up in a world of sameness where the 4 seasons decided the order of things. A slow-paced universe where salvation came from a plot of land that had to be tilled over and over again. My oldest memories are of the wood cabin we lived in, not much more than a simple settler's home, square with a 2-sided roof and a single window on the front. Out that way, a sandy path. Out the back, a field clawed from the forest through sheer human exertion. It's a rocky soil, yet men treat like a treasure. They work it, fertilize it, rid it of stones. In return, it provides nothing but tasteless vegetables, plus some wheat and hay to feed the cows, the givers of milk. The harvest would be either good or not. Everything came down to the weather. Heaven would decide, the priest would say. As though God had nothing better to do. I have no memory of my parents. I would often try to picture their faces. My father tall, burly, and resolute, with powerful hands. My mother, blonde with blue eyes like my own. Delicate features, warm and loving. Of course, the 2 of them existed only in my child's mind. Who knows what the 2 who brought me into being were really like? It doesn't matter, in fact. But I like to think that they were endowed with strength and gentleness. I grew up with a woman and a man I called ma tante and mon oncle. I don't know whether they loved me, but they looked after me. They died a long time ago. And the house at the end of Rivière à la Chasse burned down. The land, however, is still there. There are fields everywhere. Now, farmers, holding tight to their tracts of land, surround Pekuakami. The wind picks up and comes to lick my worn face. The lake heaves. I am no more than an old woman who has seen too much. At least they can do nothing to you, lake of mine. You are unchanging. Pekuakami. The sound of its whistle carries in the warm air, strident, uninterrupted. The train shrieks from the minute it enters our community until it leaves, no matter the time of day or night. Now that they can no longer travel to their hunting grounds, many people have turned to the bottle. It happened that one or another would fall asleep on the railroad tracks. There were accidents. That is why the conductors slow down and blow the whistle so the Innu will clear the rails and let the train continue on its way. I prefer to ignore it. I focus on the lake before me, its waves that bite into the sand and come to rest with a murmur at my feet. This morning, the wind carries the lake's mist, which dampens my skin. And so we are one, Pekuakami, the sky, and me. For close to a century, I have lived by its side. I know every bay and every river that flows to or from it. Its song covers the din of metal horses, soothes humiliation. Should it anger at times, its rage eventually wanes. We respected it, feared its might, and no one ventured out far offshore because the wind that comes up without warning can swallow careless canoes. Today, it has become more like a sports field on which humans play with their large motorboats. They have dirtied its water. They have emptied it of its fish. They even swim across it, have given it the name of a saint. They fail to respect its greatness. However, Pekuakami is the only lake in Nitassinan that is impossible to see across. Just as with the ocean, you have to imagine the opposite shore. I can still picture that shore in my mind. When I close my eyes, the one the elders called Peli Poku appears, the river of shifting sand. At the river's mouth, its water seems to stand still between pale sandbanks. So slowly does it move, as though its long journey down from the Odish...